Hello and welcome to my recording studio here. I just want to say what's up to all my classes. Really miss you guys, and even my 8th period class, believe it or not. I just want to give you guys a little heads up what's going on this week, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the project. It's the only project for the whole second quarter, so I just want to give you a little heads up so that the Mr. Long Show is ready to rock come Thursday. All right, so this project that you guys have is going to be basically all of your project grades, so that's going to be 20%. So just to compare it to what we did last quarter, your diet analysis and your body systems presentation is like you roll both of those into one. And this is equal to that. All right, so this is going to be our only project grade. So this is a drug team research presentation. You're going to be working in a group, but you're going to be graded as an individual. So I'm going to just basically outline this for you. You're going to pause the video a couple times, break up into groups today, and decide on what kind of drug you want to research. Actually, let me just pull this up. So you meet your team, figure out what drug you want to research. You guys could pretty much choose almost any drug. The ones I would stay away from is probably just tobacco and alcohol, just because you guys have probably heard a lot about those over the past couple weeks. If you wanted to do something like vaping, that would be fine. If you wanted to do some kind of prescription or over-the-counter drug or an illicit drug, any of that stuff is fair game. Just get it approved by Mr. Melfi, but we're going to be pretty much open to what you guys want to do and what you are interested in, all right? But again, tobacco and alcohol, you probably heard enough about. Performance-enhancing drugs, even marijuana, those are all fine to research, all right? Today, you're going to designate roles with your team. You're going to figure out what format you want to present in. So you're going to be like teacher for the day. You can present PowerPoint, Google Slides, Prezzies, whatever you want to do. You can even go and do posters, brochures, things like that. All right. So the schedule is going to be, we're setting up this project today, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, you guys are going to be in the library computer lab working on this. And then I'm going to come back on Thursday, and we'll have some hopefully good presentations ready to rock. All right, so presentation day is going to be on Thursday, December 6th. All right, so for right now, I'm going to let you guys meet as a group and brainstorm a few different drugs that you want to research. You might not get your first choice, but we have a system in place to get you, if not your first choice, at least your second or third choice. All right, so you can pause the video now. Hey. All right, so the next step, I'm just going to briefly explain the roles for your team. All right, so the first role that one person from your group can choose, the first person is going to be the leader. All right, this person is looking up the name of the drug. You're introducing some slang terms. You don't have to get, you might find hundreds of slang terms. I would just get maybe around 5 or so, the most common slang terms. Just don't go to one website and pull off of that. Go to many different websites, see what slang terms keep popping up over and over again, and go with those, some of the most common slang terms. Tell us the ingredients. What category is it in? You guys learned about categories like over-the-counter, prescription, illicit. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the category by effect. So is your drug a stimulant, depressant, hallucinogen, narcotic, etc. All right. How is it taken? All right. How is the drug taken? And you are the main reference person for your group. You should not be really an introverted person. You should be the type of person that's willing to go up and talk to different people, making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm not saying that you need to take on an extra workload, but you just need to be there to make sure that things are running smoothly for your group. All right. Next job is going to be the historian. All right, this is pretty self-explanatory. You're finding out the history of the drug. You got your questions right here. All right. It's real easy to just go and get like a quick answer off of Wikipedia or something like that. Just use multiple sources. Make sure you're going to multiple sources for this. All right. You might find like a drug was discovered. One website might say a date that's like different from another website, and you can report that, and you can also see which one you think is more valid, and you can explain why. That would be like a full credit answer. All right. So the next is an epidemiologist. Okay, so if you are going to be the epidemiologist, you should be able to say the word epidemiologist. You might have to practice. I just had kids in the past say, epidemi whatever. No, say epidemiologist. Okay. Another requirement is that you should be able to analyze charts and graphs. So you should be good with that and comfortable with that. As a matter of fact, you might have a chart up on the screen just to answer your whole entire question. And you should be able to explain what that chart is all about. All right, but you're going to be answering things like when the drug was most popular, is the use on the rise or declining. For the third question, do certain people use it more than other types of people? Sometimes drugs are broken down by like what races use it more. Sometimes you'll find stats on where it's used more in the country. Maybe different parts of the country have a bigger problem with it. You can even use something called Google Trends to find where a drug is searched more, and maybe where it's searched more, maybe it's used more, so you can use something like that. What age group is the drug popular with, and is it equally used among males and females? And you should be able to dig up some pretty good statistics on that. You won't find statistics from like 2018 or even 2017. Most of the time when it comes to these statistics online, they'll be a couple years old, but that's okay. All right, up next is the DEA agent. All right, most groups are going to have about 4 people. If you have less, again, each person just going to do one job. You don't have to cover the DEA agent if you have less than 4 people. And if you have more than 4 people, we have another job just in case coming up next. So the DEA agent, you are finding out what is the penalty for using this drug. Specifically, if you can get that in New York State penalties, and even federal penalties, that would be interesting and get you full credit for that. All right, so there's plenty of resources out there to get you guys those information. A lot of the laws around drugs are changing, but just see what you can find out there. There's a lot. Short and long-term effects about the drug. What help can be provided for people who use this drug? Okay. Example of a horrible answer, or like a elementary or middle school answer, is like rehab. Period. The end. You can tell us websites, you can tell us phone numbers, so try to elaborate on that answer a little bit. And the personal story is not your personal story with the drug. Personal story is find someone's story. People share everything online, and it'll be pretty easy to find a story about somebody who's sharing their experience with the drug. So you're just going to find that story, you read it yourself, and be ready to just summarize that for the class and tell the class as if you were telling your friends like what happened with this person's drug story. Okay. Finally, if you have 5 people in your group, you're going to have a news reporter, where basically you're just reporting on some current news stories about your drug. So things like how does the drug get into this country? How long does the drug stay in the body? What type of test is done to detect the drug? Summarize a recent article about the drug. It must be from 2018. And then show a short video clip, 2 to 4 minutes, about the drug. All right, and that's the news reporter. Again, not all groups are going to have a news reporter. All right, so at this point, you should pause and figure out what roles you are going to take for your group. All right, so meet with your group and make sure you let Mr. Melfi know what your job's going to be. All right, if you know what your job is, but you don't know how you're going to present, and if you have time in class today, you can talk about how you're going to present. And you don't have to decide today, but just some ideas. PowerPoint, of course, as long as you have your PowerPoint saved on your computer under your student ID, we can get to it in class and I can pull it up. Google Slides has been really popular for this project in the past couple of years. Allows groups to edit one document all at the same time, so that's really good. I wouldn't have a group like sit around one computer and just make one PowerPoint. It's not a good use of your time. You only have 2 days in the computer lab for this, so you're gonna have like 4 people sitting around one computer. It's just not worthwhile. So Google Slides, I would definitely recommend. Prezis are great if you have a way to make a website, or if you want to just go old school with poster or brochure. That's cool too. If you have some other ideas, you can email me about that or talk to Mr. Melfi about that. All right, so you guys can talk about how you are going to present. All right, finally, last thing is what makes for a good website? Because face it, when you're searching drugs online, you're going to find some, maybe some biased things, maybe some people that thinks drugs are great, maybe some people that over-exaggerate the effects of drugs. So we just want to get the truth about drugs. All right, so you guys should, and you can stop right now and have a little conversation about how can you tell if the information you're getting is coming from a credible source. All right, I always tell people to look for 3 different things. Number 1, who made this website? This is probably the first question you should ask. Was it some pothead in his basement that is claiming marijuana is the greatest thing in the world? Is it a website that's filled with spelling errors? Is it a website that's trying to sell you something? Or is there some kind of source behind this? Someone that you could trust, or some kind of affiliation like the Center for Disease Control, the American Heart Association. Something like that would be better than not knowing. Unbiased information, again, not selling you things, and somewhat up-to-date information. Also, the ending of the website, or the suffix, I guess you could say, of the website tells you a lot. I think .edu is probably the best you can find, the best out there. It's an educational institution. It does not have any kind of hidden agenda, such as a .gov. .gov, we're going to say, is pretty good, although I think edu is better. But .gov is fine. .com, .net, .org, I would be most careful with those. They could be good, but again, just ask yourself who created those websites. All right. Google Scholar is something that you might use in the future, but something you can definitely use for this assignment. It goes through college journals, basically. It's on a college level, so some of it might be a little bit over your head, but one thing you can do, instead of just doing a Google search, you can do a Google Scholar search, and it's going to go through a lot of professional journals, and it's going to go through, like, a lot of .edus are going to be on there, so you're going to get some good information through that if you could keep up with that reading level, which I know a lot of you guys can, so give that a shot. How are you going to get graded? It comes out to 8 points for each question. Voice, posture, and eye contact is going to be 2. Each person, not as a group, but each person is going to need 3 visual aids of their own. And those visual aids could be pictures. You could just cut and paste pictures. Visual aids could be charts. Visual aids. All right. Also, each person needs 3 sources. Don't present as a group and have a whole page of sources. I need to know exactly what sources each person used. Okay. You guys are stuck on anything? Again, Mr. Melfi should have all the answers, but if you have any issues, you can always shoot me an email. Looking forward to the presentations on Thursday. Peace.